What's up, Gilly?
What's up,
How you
man?
living, dude?
Good.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
coming
having
out,
me.
man.
For sure, brother.
Dude, so you did a beer run yesterday?
I did, yeah. So I did 20K relay yesterday. My wife and I, and a couple friends, and then yeah, good time for sure. Good vibes all around. The Copperhead 20K relay. So
it's been a big week for a lot of people in Southeast North Carolina. You know, as they call it, the Jacob Venditti swell.
Yeah.
And then rest in peace. And then that beer run, dude. That's pretty crazy, bro. How were you feeling?
Good, man. I feel great. Yeah. It wasn't as bad as comparison to the other guys that did the whole 20K by themselves and drank all 4 beers. But thankfully, I only had 1 beer and 1 5K, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, dude. So I mean, I don't typically work out this late, but the golden hour is right, and we could call this the Sunset Sufferfest. I don't know.
I love it, man. Got to earn the Sunday rest,
dude.
man.
Me and ChatGPT thought something up here. So what we could do after we walk through this, we could do like some just dynamic warm ups or whatever. But it's gonna be like a you go, I go. So the main set's gonna take like 12 to 14 minutes probably. So like, you know, partner A, partner B, partner A, you'll do a farmer's carry. Starting from right here to like there's a line out there and back. I'm probably gonna do both 45 kettlebells and throw the 45 vest on.
Okay.
You cool with that?
Yeah,
too?
I'm doing that. Let's do it.
And then while the one partner is farmer's carrying, the other partner is gonna be burpeeing until they get back.
Sounds good.
And then we'll switch. I'll get the vest on or whatever. Then you'll do a round of burpees while I'm farmer's carrying. Round 2 is knees to elbows. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Sweet. And then
sit-ups, right? Or like crunches?
Yeah, like these ones.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Same thing. Run them until we get back, and then we'll each go through a set of those while the other person's farmer's carrying. Back to burpees, then another set of knees to elbow. So it's like 4 rounds total.
Okay.
Probably, I guess, 8 changes, I guess.
Yeah.
And then for a finisher, we'll each grab a 45-pound kettlebell and do like synchro swings for a minute. Yeah. And then a minute of synced push-ups. Then we'll just hit 30 seconds all-out sprint. Okay. And then maybe we'll chop it up, catch up after that.
Let's do it.
Sound good?
Yeah, man. I'm stoked.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Good job, dude.
Yeah, that was awesome, man.
Bro, even Matt, the cameraman, is sweating, dude. I feel like he might have been doing some burpees with us.
yeah. Dude, that was awesome, man. I was really impressed of like, it was like a full circle of a workout. It wasn't just like strength and conditioning and like aerobic stuff. It was the whole nine, you know?
Honestly, dude, like when I lived down in Miami during the pandemic, I was working with this great trainer, Mark. And he got me on this like mobility kick. So I've been doing mobility work lately. Yeah. But I was training for strength primarily then. And now like I'm all about like that functional shit, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, man, that's to me like that's the best workout ever. Like, I mean, I've been doing martial arts for so long, and it's like functional workouts has always been the most helpful to me. Yeah. I've never had a scenario where I had to bench press a person off of me, but you know, but trying to survive around against a bigger guy, all that stuff has been super helpful, and getting this type of workouts in really elevates my stamina, you know.
We've been homies, I feel like, since we were probably like 18 or 19. You know what I'm saying?
I'll never forget this one memory, man, is when it was a really choppy day, and my board got away from me. I don't know if you recall this or not, but my board got away from me, took off on me, and it was, my wetsuit started filling up with cold water, and I was like, oh shit, you know, I might be stuck here for a while. And then next thing you know, I saw you coming out. It was kind of like coming out of the mist. You were dragging my board. Like, I got your board, man. After that, I was like, yeah, that's a homie right there.
I think it was like a big day out of Topsail, like in the middle of the winter time.
It was at your mom's house.
There was like spray coming off the waves. Yeah, it's funny, dude. Like, I'm just getting back into surfing. I've been haven't surfed much the last several years, but I feel like that kind of mentality in the lineup, like I've had a leash snap before and lose my board. Like, it's dope if somebody can bring it back to you, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I mean, that was a time when I was like, man, like none of the homies saw me fall, wipe out or anything like that. So I don't know if they even saw my board, you know, or saw me without a board. But yeah, I mean, you were on it. You knew it was mine.
Dude, so back in the, I mean, you were like a wrestler in high school, right? So did you get into like the MMA shit, like when you moved to Wilmington, or?
So I got into it like so I started off wrestling for sure. And then in high school, there was someone opened up a Muay Thai gym there. I was only joining there for a year, but I didn't really get into my full-on like full-scale martial arts until I got to Wilmington when I joined Jim Baglioni and Evolution MMA. After that, followed him to Team JBM out in right outside of Laney High School, and then moved to Leland, and thankfully I found Shield Jiu-Jitsu. And like Johnny and Pal has been awesome there too, and awesome mentors too. So
you were like, when you were like back when we were in college, you were like competing on the side?
Yeah, by that time, and then after that, just kind of had to relax a little bit after college and just kind of try to focus on career and everything. And thankfully found Live Oak.
My homie, well, you know, Pete, Pistol Pete, he had like, I remember he would come back to the dorms freshman year and just be covered in bruises and shit, you know?
It's part of it, man, you know? I always tell my friends, man, it's like, you'd be surprised like how many people are out there just unaware of how to throw a proper punch, proper kick, you know? So like everything they see is like, they don't necessarily, they see, it's kind of like duck in the water, you know? Like when you're watching boxing, any type of professional fights, so relaxed, but you don't realize like, when a fighter is analyzing it, they're looking at like the little things like footwork, you know, like all that stuff. That's the stuff that people don't look at, you know, just your average Joe look at. They just see the knockouts, they just see all this, they don't see the setups prior to that, you know.
It's almost like a Zen thing, like I don't know, like I imagine, you know, when you were fighting and competing and stuff, like you probably had to like maintain a relative degree of like Zen or chill to be like intentional about things. Is that right? Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, I remember my fight in Myrtle Beach. It was it was a kickboxing fight. It was 2 fights all in one day. And I remember in preparation to that, to kind of get into this mental mindset where like, all right, like this is what I'm gonna do first round, second round, third round. So that way, and I'm imagining this like this crazy opponent that I'm facing. Right? I'm thinking this unbeatable opponent in my mind.
So you were visualizing.
Yeah, I was visualizing. Yeah. I was the entire. I would just sit in my room. I was just like, I would visualize this hypothetical opponent. I didn't research the opponents beforehand because it was just gonna, you know, because I didn't want to be like, all right, they have these tendencies, and what if they switch it up, right? So I just went in there blind, not knowing who these people are.
Yeah.
And but in my mind, I was thinking this really big, really strong, really fast guy. But then like when it came to competition, because of that mental preparation I did before that, really helped me out. You know.
It's kind of interesting. You had to like figure it out on the fly, like in real time, like what patterns is he working and stuff.
Yep. And now I'm focusing on like kind of giving it back to the younger guys now too that are trying to do the same thing. And like I know some of the guys that I'm coaching now are really trying to make it big. You know, and they've been successful so far, and like, you know, but in like jiu-jitsu specifically. But they want to elevate it and take it to something else, and like adding a striking program really helps them out, and it kind of gives me a chance to like tell them about my mistakes, you know, tell them about what I found successful, kind of, and it's not just to me like martial arts in a training workout aspect. I mean, I always think about it too, like it goes beyond that, like kind of like being comfortable while being uncomfortable, you know, and that's what life is.
I've heard people say that with like jiu-jitsu, just being comfortable with some giant dude like underneath of him or something. Yeah, man, that's how Brazilian jiu-jitsu got invented, because like, I think at the time jiu-jitsu came to Brazil, and it was mainly like still kind of like the bigger guy, the Japanese jiu-jitsu, bigger guys, stronger guys usually wins. But then like you know, Helio Gracie, I believe that was him, but he's the one that like really turned it on to like, all right, now if the smaller guy can win if there's just right leverage, right technique, you know. And what a lesson too in leverage, dude, too, because like that's so important in like capitalism and business too. And I know you know about that from your job as well, your career now. Main career, obviously you're still mentoring those young guns and fighting and stuff. But before we jump into that, dude, you talked about this idea of like being comfortable, being uncomfortable, and like, and you know, little workouts like we did today, bro. Like, I feel like with a good brutal workout, especially some of those longer ones, like I ran 4.5 miles to the gym the other day, worked out and came back 4.5 miles. And like, I feel like my character before and after that, like had changed up.
Oh yeah, man.
So like, it's like this idea of like, through being comfortable in the uncomfortable, you almost like transcend through pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think about that? Like,
I mean, you're right on, man. I mean, in my opinion, like what I've found, at least in my opinion, in terms of like what I found successful at, was like trying to increase my thresholds of tolerance. You know, like tolerating pain, tolerating like stress, trying to tolerate all types of things I'm trying to juggle in life. And like in my head, like when all that stuff kind of like comes crashing down, like, you know, when people always say like things come in threes, let's say all three of them were all bad, but I somehow overcome that. Now I can handle, I'll just leveled up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm always thinking about ways to level up, and to me that's what you're describing, is like once that suck is over with, you leveled up, and now you know that you can handle that 4.5 mile run. And you know for a fact that you can probably do another half a mile after that, you know?
Dude, you know, it's crazy because like, to me, like I think it's still a balance I'm trying to figure out, right? Like enjoying momentary pleasure while still preparing for the future. You know, but when you said things come in threes and just mentally callousing the mind, right, is like a Goggins might say, like the it's like a reframing of life. It's like, instead of, you know, life being about these momentary moments of pleasure, just that alone, it's like building character. Like, and like you've always seemed to me like somebody that's like, you've always had a lot of character, always viewing things from an optimistic perspective for as long as I've known you, like raise the vibration in the room kind of thing. Like, have you always thought about like life as the purpose being to kind of build that character, go through those challenging things and rise above them.
Yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, my thoughts there, man, I think I definitely still face my own struggles, my own personal viewpoints in life, but in my head, it's that like, the more I dwell on the problem, the more the problem becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Versus if I just think about it in a way like, I see that there's a problem, but I'm gonna be bigger than that problem, and I'm not gonna let that deter my happiness, my trajectory in whatever way. But I'm still having a healthy respect of that problem because it's still a real life thing.
Yeah.
But to me, it's like I don't want to dwell more than 10 seconds of my day on that problem, or else I'm just gonna chill on that problem, you know, and just accept life as it is, and it just sucks, you know. And to me, like optimism, having that mindset of like, hey man, there's something better. There's one more. There's another thing coming for me that's just maybe not meant to me right now, but tomorrow is. But I'm not gonna let that problem rob my present or rob my tomorrow. You know. You're
kind of also getting out of your way for like future blessings or whatever. Too. You know.
I agree, man, for sure.
It's funny, dude. I have this like thoracic area injury. Like I go to the chiropractor for it sometimes. I think it was from doing like a fast clean workout like a year and a half ago. My form kind of slipped, but the funny thing about it is it always feels better after I do my mobility and I do a hard workout. It's like almost like it's like I could sit and dwell in like the uncomfortableness of that, or I could get a workout, which I should be fucking doing anyway, and then it makes me feel better. It's like funny how like it's like a injury that requires me to rise to the highest version of myself. And then it's like, dude, that wasn't a big deal. Like I feel better now, you know. You I guess like post college, maybe switched into more of the mentor role in fighting, and you know, I know you're a banker now, kind of on the VC side of things, right?
Yep.
Like what's that like, dude? I mean, we've talked about it here and there before, but
so yeah, when I joined Live Oak Bank, I was first kind of opened up in the whole small business world, and I was actually like helping service the funeral homes. And I heard
that's a lucrative business.
That was like a niche. That was like a very
people are always dying, dude.
Exactly. And to me, that was like never a thing. Because like when I was in Truist prior, all the lenders were all like generalists, you know, and like when it came to Live Oak, they had this very verticalized approach. So like there's a vet lenders. There's a
that's why vertical. I got my dog Ruby. From one of the vet lenders.
So spend that for like a year, and then thankfully I found a position as an analyst for the venture banking group, and that's what you were mentioning earlier, is that like we lend to a lot of these VC portfolio companies. So really get to like see what the struggles are of doing startups, tech startups specifically. That's what we mainly focus on, is tech and healthcare tech, or our IT services type of deal, and we get to see like kind of like an insight of like what really made them see a problem, did something about it, and created a platform for a solution, you know. And then we get to see that real time in terms of like, what do they do managing macro environments, micro, you know, like.
So you're kind of analyzing, are you like analyzing the marketplace a lot of times, like with like the total addressable market and stuff, to see like how big one of these software companies could potentially grow when you're considering like lending to them? Or
so I'd say we tend to focus more on like making definitely the marketplace for sure, right? But a lot of that that's usually already kind of like, we already usually have like an insight on that from the VC investors that we talk to. And I'd say we're way closer on the VC side, and that's how we get kind of like our businesses from. It's kind of this referral channel with all these VCs. So we kind of get like the market insights for what makes these companies great. But what we really worry about is making sure that like this business is like bankable, in terms of like making sure that they have ample amount of runway, cash, all that stuff, and making sure that their cash burn, that's something that we focus on almost always, is making sure that they have enough runway to make sure that our debt is not necessarily like funding to nowhere. You know, we're
Yeah.
making sure that we're funding these businesses to another inflection point.
Yeah.
Whether they're raising another round. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Or whether they exit through an IPO or M&A.
So we talked about leverage earlier in terms of fighting, right? If you're the smaller guy, you know, using, I guess, like angles and pressure the right way in the right places.
Yeah.
How do you think that like leverage like impacts a business? Like, what are your biggest takeaways after being in this industry, like in terms of like leverage and capital and how they, you know, apply to a business's like success or failure, I guess?
So like, I mean, I think, so like, especially during like SVB crash and all that stuff, right? In 2023, it was a very like eye-opening thing for the market. And what I've learned from that too is that like at that time prior to that, a lot of the VCs, a lot of the like Silicon Valley banks of the world were kind of like investing and lending to companies that are just focused on growth. Yeah. Now after that, it's more about like growth is still important, but it's also like how well do you manage your capital is also another added layer to
like ARR stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. ARR, burn multiples, like how many dollars do you burn to gain another net new ARR dollar? Yeah. You know, so making sure that's kind of like within reason, you know, that's what and also the, like if you're a cash burning company, like if you had to turn off all those cash burning items that you need to do to operate, can you still operate as a business? Yeah. Right? Can you flip to
services or something like that?
Exactly. Yeah. And those are the things that like we look at as a bank is like, all right, like in a scenario where you have to flip to profitability, can you do that in a efficient manner without limiting your growth? You know, so like those are the things that we want to look at. And companies have been very creative now and like making sure that they're always in this threshold of healthy and growing at the same time. Yeah.
That's fascinating stuff, dude, that I feel like you'll be able to take with you, like regardless of what you do for the rest of your career. Like what's inspiring you the most right now? Like what's driving, like, you have any like goals or like things that you're like stoked about right now over the next like couple, two to 3 years? Like,
I'd say like 2 to 3 years, man. Like, I mean, I'm definitely still enjoying my career. Yeah. Enjoying my job, you know, enjoying the leadership team that I have. They're very close and all about that, like, let's level you up mentality.
Yeah, that's a good environment to be in, good culture, dude. Yeah.
I agree, man. Because I mean, in my head too, right? And to me, it kind of speaks volumes too of like the type of leadership they got. Is that like all about leveling them up? Because my goal, and I always tell the leadership team, is like, I'm trying to like level myself up so that way I can take away like 30% of what they do. Yeah. Right? Because then if I take 30% of that, they get to do, you know, like let's say like the bigger pie. I can keep taking a pie, and eventually that's also going to lead me to positions where I am also now I'm going to pass it down to the people, you know, and then at the same time, you know, still have my passion, surfing. Yeah. You know, the training at Shield Jiu-Jitsu has been still top of mind too, but at the same time, above all things though, is definitely family. Yeah. You know, I'm trying to make sure that, you know, if my family's comfortable, then I'm comfortable, you know.
That's dope, dude. That's a great why. And you brought up something cool there, like in terms of like taking 30% away where you can and stuff. A lot of like, if you study like big investors like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, they spent, and Warren Buffett still does spend so much of his day just reading and thinking. Yeah. And, you know, that like tactical stuff needs to get done every day, but once you have the systems in place and can like almost be like the analogy for meditating, being in the corner of the room and looking at things from above, from a different perspective. Like, that's why I love to travel, because it throws me on my element and makes me rethink the day to day, you know? Yeah. So that's a powerful thought there too. And yeah, man, it's funny. I feel like, you know, in my 20s, it was very much like living for me, making life cool and shit like that. And like, I'm grateful that I was like selfish to a degree in that way. Like we all have to be at some point to figure it out. But this idea of like contributing to something greater than yourself, whether it be your wider family or the impact you want to have in your community, like that's like, I guess we just like work our way up the Maslow's hierarchy of needs as we get older. Like we realize our finite nature, and we're like, shit, dude. I mean, even, I don't know if you knew Jacob Venditti. I only met him once, but followed along with his story, and like the amount of impact that dude had on our community and the wider world. It's just like, it's like, dude, it's like, I gotta find a way to contribute like that too, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was very heartwarming, man. When I've never met the guy. I've never even.
I only met him once, but like, dude, we exchanged DMs here and there, and like, dude,
I saw the amount of people that paddled out for him. That was amazing. That's the type of legacy I want to leave behind if, you know, something ever happened, you know, God forbid. But
definitely, dude.
Yeah, man.
Bro, well, thank you for coming out, dude. We'll have to do this again.
Yeah, definitely, man. Love
to. Great convo as always, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, dude. Yeah.